Alrighty, are we live? Yes, we are. Oh my gosh. Tell me you've been at the table and you're getting ready to roll the dice, and somebody says, hey, what about my craps protection or this protection and that protection? What are you protecting? What do you need protecting from craps for? And why are you betting that way? And what is it all about? Is it hedging? I don't know, but we're going to find out and talk about it right now.
Welcome to the Color Up Podcast. Whether you're a seasoned player or a beginner eager to step up to the table, this is your lucky podcast that's all about the thrill and strategy of the casino world. I'm your host, Jeremy. With me is Jim the Professor. Let's get rolling. Crap pass line protection. Well, that'll be a good topic today. There's a few ways to protect your pass line.
If you need to.
If you need to, yeah. I was gonna say from just even from the intro, it doesn't sound like Jim's not really a pass line protector type of guy.
I'm not sold on it, but maybe it depends on, and there are some reasons for. We'll get into it, I think, but for the regular game of crown. We'll see.
Yeah. Anyway, I guess we should start with just finding out how the week's going for you, and then we'll go from there.
Sure.
Anything new this past week?
Well, I'm a teacher that was on Thanksgiving break, so we got out of school Tuesday, and Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and here we are Sunday night. It's 8:00 Eastern, and I'm going to be getting up at 4 or 4:30 tomorrow morning. And it does come early.
The party's over.
Yeah, the party's over. And it's going to be 5 full days after going the whole month of November with only 1 week where we were in school for 5 days. It's going to seem like a long week.
What'd you do with all your time? I mean, were you gambling online? Did you go to
No. I was taking care of some honey-do list kind of things. Mm-hmm. I managed to get the crown removed from my tooth involuntarily by eating a croissant.
Okay.
And so I've got to call my dentist tomorrow and get the appointment going on that. So that's not fun. But just messing around. I don't know if you noticed the new background. I know we're not.
I love it.
Yeah. So I got a couple of my things hung up here and made some changes here in the professor's palace, that type of thing. But a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Did get a chance to pick up some cans, so I was able to start boosting my ATS money for my next DiceCon ATS fund. So hopefully I'll be able to hit that. But yeah, other than that, just hanging out with the family, doing all that good stuff. We went over to my sister's house and hanging out with my brother and sister and their families and wonderful nieces and nephews. And my oldest boy, Zach, came over. So it was a lot of fun. How about you? What'd you do?
We celebrated Thanksgiving on Wednesday, just because that's how the family schedule worked out. So all my local kids came and their boyfriends and girlfriends and whatnot. And so we celebrated on Wednesday, and then Thursday it was weird because it was just me and my wife. It was nice though, because she's like, I don't have to cook. We just ate leftovers. We watched football.
There you go.
It was so quiet and lonely, and I don't know. It was just kind of a sad day. And then after that, I just got back to work because I have a cruise coming up Friday. I'm going to leave for it Friday. And when a cruise comes up and I'm out of the office for 8 days, it means I've got to get work done.
Get stuff done. Okay.
Yeah. So that means, I got to get this upcoming week's videos done, the videos while I'm on the cruise, the videos the week after, because I won't have time to get those done. And, I usually I have to get them done early. I send them to dicer.io and he builds out the strategies for me. So then I have to get them back and then re-edit. So it's a process. And then I have to edit my TV shows, two TV
That's
shows
right. It's nice being Mr. Color Up, but there's a lot of pressure. It's
just, I gotta buckle down and get some work done.
Okay.
And then it's the end of the month. It's my club member mailing session. So
yes.
I guess I should let you in on a little. For those watching. So this month's green members will get
whoop whoop.
Not only the chips, they always get a chip. So the red members will get the black chip. The green members get this new designed purple chip, 500 chip. So this is their full set for the year.
Mm-hmm.
And then, well, I snuck in some Christmas chocolate. So there's some Christmas chocolate.
Those are dice. Those are dice. There you go.
Yeah. But then also some brand new
Yeah.
color up dice.
Very
So,
nice.
Yeah, those will be going out to the. They're all packaged up, and I dropped most of them in the mail already. The rest
Excellent.
will go tomorrow morning. And so those are coming out to all my Green Club members. If you're interested in joining that thing, they get mailing every few months. Go to colorup.club.
There you go.
Yeah, so they get some dice. Now, these are, I will warn you, these are not casino official dice. So I didn't get these from TSX Huxley.
Okay.
These are 19 millimeter casino style. You know, they're
Right.
very
These aren't
good.
the
They're sharp.
actual. These aren't the actual
Yeah.
real dice, casino grade dice.
Right.
Are they the same size though? Or are they?
Well, that's how you know the difference, because these are 19 millimeter, which
They're
means
19,
they came from
not the-
overseas,
okay.
not the
7.
7.55 or what's the other one? 0.775 inch.
Yeah, 0.775 is the number.
Yeah,
that
those are
I
the
was
bigger
thinking of.
ones.
Okay.
Yeah, but I mean that's 19 point something millimeter. I mean they're very, very close. But for those who are like dice controllers, like I gotta have actual dice. I don't have them. I have fun ones with my name
the
on it.
random roller. Let your spouse who's not as into dice control, let them use those dice.
Yeah, but
save the real ones.
I
for
do
you.
have like I think like 20 of them left over, so I am going to. I'll offer them to my Red Club members first, and then I'm
Okay.
probably just going to do a pre-sale, because now that I have a contact
Mhm.
that I can get these done, I'll get these done, and I'll probably do a different color and do a pre-sale, and then anyone who wants to order, you know, casino style dice can. And obviously, the nice thing about them also is they're half the price of
Oh yeah,
the real ones too. So there's something to it.
yeah. Well, we appreciate them. It's always nice to have dice.
Yeah,
if
they're
you're-
they're fun. They're fun.
Yeah.
And one of the problems of me not getting my work done, I should let you in on a little something.
Uh-oh.
You know what this is?
That's
It's
a Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, a little gaming console. It's my kids. They don't play it, but I've been some of my free time. I
Wait
haven't
a
been a
minute.
gamer
Are you
forever.
procrastinating?
Yes, that's the problem. So the other day, I'm like, I don't like these open world games where you run around forever and it's like, you know, this game is awesome. You could play it for 200 hours just wandering around. I'm like, I don't want that. That's too much. Just give me.
Okay.
But back in the day, I really loved Zelda games. So they're like, we'll play this Zelda Link's Adventure. So it's like a refreshed 3D model, but of a game from, you know, I don't know, the 90s. It's an old Zelda game, you know, the dungeons. I don't know if you're familiar
Okay.
with that kind of stuff, but
Yeah.
it has a world, but it's not like you randomly run around doing nothing.
Okay.
So I bought the game and I'm like, you know, I won't even open it until I get at least 2 more videos edited. and I'm like, well, and then it changed to, well, if I plan out 6 videos and don't film any, that's good. And then I could start playing. So that's what I procrastinated a little bit. Ended up playing that a few hours
Wow.
late last night and then a little bit this morning.
Wow.
And then I'm like, this is so fun, but I got to set it aside.
My gosh. Can't save it for the cruise, man.
I know exactly. And I think from what I know, it's the only game like it. Because I don't want the new Zelda games, because they're these just crazy. I don't have time for that. Just give me a simple old classic Zelda game. But I did eventually get to filming, so I got a couple filmed and edited today. And I
Bravo.
I got a
Bravo.
few more to go though, and I got my work cut out for me. But meanwhile, this thing is like staring at me, and I'm like, I gotta put that aside.
Oh my gosh.
So there's a little inside information.
Oh
for
my
you.
gosh. Hey, somebody jumped in online and said they are digging the new decorations. So thank you. That was Co-Legend, I think. So
Yeah, you
thank
got
you
one of
very
the
much.
signs from
yeah.
last
That's a
Dice
sign.
Con
Whoops,
and-
sorry. I got to keep doing the opposite hand. But that's a sign from last year's Dice Con
Yeah.
that I used some of my winnings to. I mean, Jeremy probably spent like, I don't know, $10 having that thing made, and I probably spent $85, I think, having it shipped from.
Well, actually, Four Queens printed
4
those for
Queens.
me. So whatever they
Okay.
paid for, I don't
Whatever.
think they
They
were.
were-
They might
they
be
were-
like
yeah,
$50,
yeah.
but yeah.
But I
yeah,
used some
to
of my
ship
winnings
it.
for it, so that was a good thing, because if If not, it wouldn't have fit in my suitcase, and I didn't want to
Yeah.
bend it up. But I did buy a frame at Walmart, so thank you for noticing on that. And then the
Yeah,
other one
that's
over
nice.
here is this I got from the Craps for the Cure, not this year, but last year. I bid and got the sign. It says High State Gamblers, and it's for Binions, I think, is what it is on the back. I don't know. I think
And
it's
we
Binions.
don't want to date this too much, but you got
Yeah.
a snow game going on in the corner there, which we can't show at all. We
Can't
don't
show it all.
We don't want YouTube to pull us off,
Yeah,
but it,
no,
it
no,
is
no.
going on.
Yeah, and
Which is
that's
probably
why
why-
it kind of has that disco light feel today. Because if I cut it off, it would be solid light on me.
Yeah,
But
and that's probably where all of our live viewers are. They're probably watching the football game, which is a little more entertaining, but that's
maybe.
okay.
Maybe.
Yeah, you'll catch our podcast on whatever your favorite podcast app is, Apple, Spotify,
whatever.
whatever you like,
Mhm.
and that's
We
where
got 'em
most
all.
people, I think, are viewing.
Okay.
So enough of that.
Yes.
What do you say we head to our? I think, have I covered everything? I think it's enough.
I think so. What?
Yeah, mailing out some club member gifts. I've been procrastinating, and now you know why, because I'm playing some old Zelda game. And
Yeah. You know, that's terrible. That's like that game, I think, with the Minecraft. I've never understood the generations that were my boys were hooked on it. The kids at school still play it. It's I don't know what you call it, a point of view game, but it's just a person
Yeah.
with really crappy graphics, and they go around talking to people and they build stuff, and I just
yeah, I don't get
understand
Minecraft
it.
for sure.
I don't understand it at all. But I think I'm about 10 years older than you, and when you started talking about Zelda, it might have been 100 years. It jumped up to 100. I was like, Zelda, what are you talking about?
Yeah,
Man, I loved video games growing up. I was a Pong and
right.
Space Invaders, Galaga, all that kind of stuff. But
No, when I was a kid, it was that stuff was like old, and they just started the Super Mario guy
okay.
and Zelda.
Yeah.
So
I did
yeah.
do a little Nintendo. What is it with when the boys when they were little? They had the one where you play tennis and stuff. We enjoyed.
that was
that
much
one.
later. That was
Yeah. That was like
20 years later
later
into Nintendo. Yeah, that was-
But there was a gap. There was some
New
gap
age
years.
stuff.
Oh yeah, there was gap years for me. So. It's terrible getting old.
I don't think there's a craps game on Nintendo that I'm aware of. Every once in a while, there was like some sort of
No.
casino game, like on PlayStation or something like that. But I never
Yeah,
really,
you could play blackjack. It was like a sub game inside a game or something.
Yeah.
Like that. Yeah.
something like that. I don't even. Yeah, it would be. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's one of those games where you just run forever as a Grand Theft Auto, and that would be a game where you would probably stumble into a casino and play craps. I don't know if.
Grand Theft Auto, if you think about it, is kind of like real life now. It was kind of like predicting of the future.
Yeah, of
depending
course.
on what city you're in.
Yeah, that's a big one. But I don't like those ones because it's too much for me. I don't want to just run around aimlessly.
Okay.
My kids are like,
you
this
want a
is fun.
beginning,
I'm like,
middle, and end.
yeah, just give me some goals to achieve,
Rescue the princess.
some
or
couple
whatever.
hints,
Get
couple
some-
little
Get some
puzzles
coins.
to solve, and I'm good.
Okay. All right.
Not too complicated. All right, pass line protection. Well, it
Yes.
could be for anything, but I think primarily pass line protection. What are your? We could break it down all the different ways. What are your? I don't know. When I say
let's talk,
pass
let's
line
talk
protection,
about what are the bets. Like, how do you, if you want to protect your $10 pass line bet or $15 pass line bet, what are your options and are they good?
well,
bets?
it loses, right? So the pass line wins with the 7 or 11.
Mm-hmm.
8 ways to win. Very cool. And then it loses with the 2, 3, and 12, the craps numbers.
Right.
There's
ways.
four dice
Yeah.
combinations.
Right.
And so you're a 2-1 favorite, but you can lose that bet. So to protect that, somehow you have to bet on the 2, 3, and 12.
Okay.
There's a couple ways to do it. There's the any craps bet, which, just like it sounds, it covers any of the craps.
Mm-hmm.
There's a popular one that people do is the C&E bet.
Yeah, that's the one that, hey, give me back my C&E. I hear
Yeah.
that all the time at the table.
Yeah, which that one's a weird one because it covers the C of the
Right.
C&E is the craps. It's the same thing as any craps. But then you also bet the E, which is the 11. So
But you
you're-
win on 11 on the pass line anyway.
Right, so it's like you're doubling up on the E or the 11 and then you're
Right.
protecting from the C. So I'm not sure why people like that, but they do.
Okay.
What else could you do?
Maybe they're trying to hedge against the crap bet. Get a little more squeak. Maybe it's a hedge against a hedge.
Maybe.
I don't know.
You have the world bet.
Now,
World
I have a
overall.
lot of friends who love that world bet.
Really?
Yeah. And I'm talking about guys who, play often. They love that world bet.
So it's the
and
C&E.
It's part of a system. Yeah.
It's the horn. It's the horn. The craps numbers 2, 3, 11, and 12, and then the 7. So it's a bet on all of them. Anything that could happen, it's a bet on them. And I think that's about it. Yeah, those are the only
Everything
ways
but
that
a box number.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess the ideal is you on that first roll, you don't want to lose that bet because you either want it to go to a box number and the roll continues and you got your chance to win. You want to win right away, but for whatever reason, people hate to lose the pass line with those 4 little combinations.
Yeah, it's bizarro to me. I have not understood it, and I just don't get it. And maybe they just, I don't know. There's
4 combinations,
psychological
so 1 out of
reasons.
14. I think 1 in 14 chance to lose your bet.
Yeah, it's 4. What is it?
4 into 36. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So the chances are 1 in 14 that you're going to lose that bet.
Then why? I don't know. To me, you got that great advantage. Why would you even do it? But and the other thing is, if you're worried about that $10 pass line bet or 15, or say you're a big baller, you're 25, you're worried about that quarter, maybe you shouldn't be at the craps table to begin with. If that first bet, because I don't see them hedging every other bet.
No.
It's just the first one. I don't know what it is about the.
Yeah, it's weird because that's the only time you have the advantage. You're a 2-1 favorite
For one roll.
for one roll. After that, you're always the underdog, and
Same
there's
as
no
every
hedging
other
going
bet,
on there.
yeah. Unless you're doing, dark side kind of stuff or laying bets.
Yeah, and as dark side players, it actually makes I kind of understand that more as a don't pass protection.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're such a big underdog for that one roll only. I understand. To me, that makes sense because, I want to protect against the 7 or 11
Mm-hmm.
because I'm a huge underdog for this one roll. But once I get past the come out, now I'm the favorite, then I don't protect. To me, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
But it to me, it would only make sense if it was a pretty big one.
well, yeah, the math never is right.
Right.
So when we go back to it, you're trying to protect a really, really good bet with a really, really, really bad bet. And it does not, yes, for that one roll, if the crap number shows up and you bet any craps and it, you lose your pass line and any craps pays, you're like, oh, cool. But the more you do that, it will not pay for itself.
Never.
Yeah,
And when you do it, you're still, depending on how much, you're going to be losing money. Because say it's a $10 pass line bet.
Yeah.
What's that? 7 to 1. You get
Any
$7.
craps pay 7 to 1. Yeah.
So $7. You got 10. Hey, I only lost 3.
Yeah. You got to make it $2. Right.
All right, so you're making it $2 then.
Mhm.
So then you got 14, right?
Mm-hmm.
So hey, I made 14 even though I should have lost. No, you didn't make 14. You made 4, right? So
Right.
you're betting $2 to win $4.
Mm-hmm.
But more than likely you're gonna.
More time than not. So let me break it down. Like if you don't have the pyramid behind you, but
Yeah.
the dice is set on 36 rolls.
Mm-hmm.
So 4 times you're going to win the any craps bet. So 4 times you're going to win $7. So you're going to win $28.
7 times 4 is 28. Gotcha.
36 times you're going to bet the dollar. And it's going to cost you, for 36 rolls, it's going to cost you $36. And you're only going to win 28. So you're going to lose $8 with this bet. If it pays
Right.
according to probability.
If it sticks to the pyramid.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So that's with 4. If you roll an extra craps number, now you hit it one more time, you're still losing money.
Mm-hmm.
Once you hit it 6 or more craps numbers out of 36, then it's actually, it makes sense to make that bet. But most people say, well, I don't do it every roll. It's just for the one roll. It's just for the come out roll.
But why?
I that's the part I don't know. Is you just hate, they just hate to lose the pass line bet. They want to get their point set and continue on from there. So I know, like, my craps Dealer John, he's
Dealer John.
He's a
That's
character
right.
on my show, reoccurring a few times, and everyone loves
Mm-hmm.
Dealer John's voice. He's a big advocate of this, of once you get to a certain level. I haven't talked to him in a while, but back in the day, we always did $5 videos. So he'd be like,
Right.
yeah,
It's been a
you
while.
bump it up, go to 5, 10, 15, 20. And once you go to 25, start making that protection bet. Because at that point, $4 protection will pay you 28.
Compared to
It'll
75 or whatever. Yeah.
Right. So you're paying $4 now to protect the 25.
So 20%, basically, right? 5, 10, 15. No, less than 20%. 18 or whatever it is to protect the 25. I guess it's not a bad.
Yeah, it's not the end of the world. I mean, but it's still,
Right.
if you think about long-term math, it's a losing bet, especially at, whatever.
And it's another
10%
$4 you
plus.
got to make up. Say you do get the point.
Yeah.
And you hit an 8 or whatever, $18 8. You still got to you got to hit it twice just to break even. I don't know.
But I think it's just psychological, right? Because people don't want to lose the $25. So it's like, it only costs me $4 for the one roll. God forbid a craps number shows up. It costs me $4, but I win my money back and I move on with my day. Otherwise, I lose $4 and now it's just game on, just as normal. It's gotta be psychological, because, like I said, it wouldn't make sense to it just I don't know why people do it.
There's no math sense to it. Now,
Whereas I do understand it on the other way, because on the other way, you're protecting it for the one roll, where every roll after you're the favorite.
Right.
But with the pass line, to me, it's like, okay, you made it past the first roll where you're already a big favorite, and now you're the underdog.
Right.
Like, you're more likely to lose now on every single roll. Why
Right.
would you want to get to that stage of if you're a pass line player, you never want to get to that stage. You just want to stay winning.
Yes. Yes.
It would be nice if you could just do a come out roll over and over and over, because you're a 2-1 favorite. You never
Right.
get that kind of.
And
favor
speaking of
for
that,
you.
what's the most times that you've won on the come out row in a row? Come out roll in a row.
I don't know on a real I mean, I've had videos where it's been like 8 or 9 rolls before a point was set, and
Yowza.
like 6 of those were 7 or 11s. I mean, it happens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I think I've had videos where it's similar, where I've lost, 2, 3, or 12 has hit multiple times.
Yeah.
And in those situations, it's like, see, genius bet. I should have been making the any craps bet.
protecting yourself. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've hit the 7s or won the come out roll a couple times with a yo, but I've done it 7 times.
Yeah.
So between the 7 and the 11, I've gone 7 times in a row.
But see, that's the winning side. You don't need to protect against that. That's just
Right. But
Yeah.
but I've also had the bad times too, where guess what? I'm killing myself just trying to establish
Yeah.
a point. And people said, "Oh, you ought to protect yourself." And I was like, "No, that's why I'm at the table. I'm gambling. I'm gambling. That's the whole point, people."
yeah.
And I'm hoping for good things to happen, although sometimes bad things happen.
So the most common term is give me a craps check. I don't know
Yes,
why, where
craps
that
check.
came from, but they throw it in. Give me a craps check.
Mm-hmm.
And that's an any craps bet. There are a little differences that we can break down. I think we kind of said it. So any craps is just a bet on the 2, 3, and 12. It pays 7 to 1. You can make a C and E bet, or just the C, which is, again, any craps. But if you make a C and E bet combined, which is the 2, 3, 12, and 11.
Right.
Again, now you're double betting on the 11 for some reason, but people
Right.
love it. If that hits, if the craps number rolls, you get paid 3-1. Well, these are shortcuts. You essentially get paid, either 30-1 or whatever. The math is weird, but the shortcut is if you roll a craps, you get paid 3-1. If you roll 11, you get paid 7-1.
Right.
So it's real simple. If you go like a $5 C and E, technically it's like a $2 bet, but you can make it any amount because quick math is, okay, if you roll a craps number, you win 15. If you roll an 11, you win 35.
Okay.
7 times or 3 times on the C and E. That makes
Now,
sense?
Yeah, but let me ask you this: what if you just throw the penny or the nickel out right on the 11? It's the same bet.
15-1. Yeah.
15-1. Same bet.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, like I said, unless it's part of another elaborate betting strategy or something, I just don't see where it makes a lot of. I don't think it ever makes mathematical sense on that one. But you never know. Maybe there's people who have other reasons for doing it. Maybe people in the comments could. And I don't know. I know we don't have probably a ton of live people.
Yeah, it's
right
psychological.
Here.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
It's just protect. It's insurance.
What's the house edge on that?
I don't have in front of me. It's not good.
I've got it. I think it was like 10 or something. Let me see, 10 or 11 for an 11.
Most everything's 10 or 11.
Yeah, let me. I had it open here.
So I will go on to say, so it usually that's $1 is any craps. Sometimes it makes sense to do what's called a 3-way craps once you get to $3. So for instance, like if you make any craps for $3,
Okay.
it pays 7-1, you're going to get paid $21.
All right.
If you make a 3-way craps, instead of any craps, you're betting $1 on the 12, $1 on the 2, and $1 on the 3.
Okay.
So those are going to pay different because those get paid. The 2 and the 12 gets paid 30-1
Or 15.
or 15 for the 3. So essentially, and then you subtract a loser. So if you do a 3-way craps, 2 and the 12, you're going to get paid 28, which is more than 21.
Right.
But if you roll a 3, you get paid 15 minus loser. You get paid 13, which is less than 21.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like some people like to do the 3-way craps instead. And it is better if you roll the 2 and 12, but it's worse if you roll the 3. So it's kind of pick your poison. Some people will, I'll just stick with the any craps because I just get 21 no matter what instead of 28 or 13. So that's kind of your deciding factor if you want to do any craps versus a 3-way craps.
Hey, I did get the number here. Any craps, the house edge is 11.11. Same thing with the 11, the 3, the 2 jumps up to 13.89 along with the 12. So almost 14 for those two.
Yeah,
so,
I know in the comments someone asked what the minimum is. Usually it's $1 bet minimum on a $5 table, $10 table, $15 table. Once you get to a $25 table, many casinos will then make a $5 minimum prop bet. So that's something you got to consider. So if you want to make an any craps bet, it's got to be $5 and now it pays $35. So now you're paying $5 to protect a $25 pass line.
Yeah, that's
you're essentially betting on the craps because you want that to win because you'd win an extra, you get paid 35, lose 25, you win an extra $10. So
which if you did that, then why make
bet the pass line? Just bet the any craps or bet the don't. I don't know if that's what you're thinking is going to roll, bet the don'ts.
It's amazing how many people I see that. And again, I don't usually, I can usually tell the people who have a system or have a betting scheme or whatever you want to call it of going and I can kind of not justify, but I can understand. It explains what they're doing a little bit. but I have no idea with just somebody with a pass line bet, just hey, crap check. I think it's just a habit, or when they were learning to play, they
Someone
saw
told
somebody
them, or-
else do it, or an influential dealer, I don't know, suggested it or whatever. But yeah, I just don't. That one I just have never been able to figure out why they do it. Do you see any other reasons why, maybe after the pass line bet, why people do those kind of things?
Well, I mean, so like going back to what Dealer John likes to say, if you build it up, if you start at 5, it hits you double to 10, it hits you double, you go to 15 and pull back your original 5. He has some profit locked in. Once he gets up to 25, he has profit to protect it. So it's like, I'll throw in a little protection because I normally wouldn't come. I've built it up to this. I don't want to start over. I kind of get it, I guess.
I don't know.
It's just you want the game to continue and you don't want to lose on that first roll. I mean,
there's got to be some risk aversion, but if you've got all that, if you're angst up about that, then I don't think you should be, maybe you should even be in the casino. But I think you need to learn a little bit more about it. And I know there's going to be probably some people in the comments that are going to be saying,
whoa.
what?
Well, you're telling people that if they're playing this, they got to learn more about craps. I don't know.
I don't. Am I being judgy? I say that.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No, I don't know. But I do usually say, hey, play however you want. If you want to play, don't pass. But just to me, it's just like, what I like in my mind. I would like for them to verbalize what they're trying to accomplish. You know, hey, I'm trying to protect the $10 by losing 3, or okay, that's
like I said, I understand it on the don't. I do it myself. I'll protect the don't sometimes.
You do? You've done it?
Yeah, with profits, I will protect $100 don't by hopping the 7s.
Okay.
You know, for $5 sometimes, a piece. You know, it's a waste of $15. But the rolls have been reversed. On that come out roll, I'm more likely to lose my bet. So I'm protecting against more likely losing it.
Okay.
And then once the point's established, hey, my don't's good because it's the favorite now. Now I'm happy.
Okay. All right. Awesome. Hey, I can maybe understand protecting stuff that you've already got in the rack, that kind of thing. I can maybe. I don't agree with it, but I can understand.
And the math says you shouldn't do it. I mean, it's a waste of $15, and you're never going to make that money back over time. But
yeah, so really the 15 that I guess you're protecting it from losing it all in one shot.
Yeah. For the one roll.
For the one roll.
It's like it's like phase 1 of the game, phase 2 of the game.
Kind of like the come bets. Exactly.
Yeah, you're protecting it for phase 1. Once you're in phase 2, the game goes on. It's not like a one roll situation.
Okay.
Because you can roll the other numbers and you're the favorite. But with the pass line, you're in phase 1, but you're already the favorite. So what are you protecting against? It's like you're just that small chance that anything can happen.
The 4
you want to eliminate.
Yeah.
But once you go to phase 2, now you're the underdog. You don't protect against anything.
How about if you just, instead of doing that craps thing, what if you just made a field bet?
I've done that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's because it covers the 2, 3, and 12.
Right.
And it pays double, right?
Right.
Usually on the 2 and 12. So you lose your pass line, you actually win back more. And then if it's any other, the other box numbers, you win. Mm-hmm. It's not a bad way to do it. I've made a couple of videos on that.
Actually, I just looked. If you do it with the field bet, where the 2 and the 12 pay double, it drops it to 5.26, as opposed to
for protection.
Yeah, for 11,
as far as house edge goes.
Yeah, house edge.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean
it's usually a little more expensive though, because there you're gonna have to be table minimum.
Yeah, okay. That's
unless you're on a cruise ship, but so that's the big thing. So if you're at a $15 table, Well, now you have to make a $15 field bet, whereas you could make, $2 any craps check to win 14. So you're almost
Right.
there between
Okay.
$2 and $3, whereas the field you have to pay 15. And as we know, the most common numbers, 5,
Yes.
6, 7, 8. The field
Yeah.
you lose your 15. So
That's right.
Yeah.
So
it is I guess I should have brought that up. The field is another option to cover the 2, 3, and 12. It's a good point.
So
Good
it's
thing you brought up.
20 ways to lose when you add the 7 in there, right? 16 ways
Yeah.
to win, as
Yep.
opposed to if you just did the straight craps. I
Right. It's
guess we
4
could
ways
add
to
the-
win,
Yeah, 4.
32 to lose.
But again, you have the minimum going up to the table minimum
Yeah.
over there. Now, one of Wary in the comments says he's found that some cruise casinos don't allow the don't pass to be picked up after the come out. And it's a great way to hedge the pass line. Let's talk about that. Like a do we don't, like you put $10 on the pass line, $10 on the don't. Is it truly really a hedge? I think not.
No,
I
what
can
it
think
does
of
is
one, I can think of one roll where it wouldn't be.
the 12.
There you go.
Yeah, the problem is the 12. But no, people who do the Dewey don't. Now he says some casinos will allow the don't pass. All casinos will allow you to remove the don't pass.
Even on the cruise ships? That's what he's saying. He said he found some cruise ships don't.
No, he says that they allow.
Oh, he said they allow. Okay,
Yeah,
I misread
all
that.
casinos will allow it
Yeah,
because once you're past the come out, you're the
You're
favorite.
the
So if
favorite,
you want to
yeah.
remove it, they'll be like, please remove it.
Take them all
So,
off. Yeah.
take them all off. So, yeah, the Dewey don't. Yeah, is a bet on the pass and the don't at the same time. Those are people who they don't want to play phase 1. You know what? Like, leave me alone. I don't want to win or lose.
Mhm.
I just want to get to phase 2 of the game where then I could decide. So, some people are like, hey, cool. If the point's 4 or 10, I think that, the 7's more likely to roll. Now I'm going to bet odds on my don't. Or if it's like, well, the point 6 or 8, cool. I'm more likely to win on the pass line. I'm going to put my odds on the pass.
Right.
So it's usually either they want to choose where to add their odds, depending on the number,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
or they're like, I don't even want to play phase 1. Just get me to phase 2 of the game.
I got you.
Because that's what it does. It essentially eliminates it, except for the 1 in 36 chance, the 12 rolling.
And in your thoughts on normally pulling down a don't
Never do
pass
it.
that has made it,
Never, ever, ever, ever do it. So,
even though it's a 6 or an 8, Jeremy?
yeah. So if you don't like the number, 25, whatever it is, $25 don't.
Okay.
If you don't want it, if you do, and it goes to a 6, and you're like, dang it, I'm going to lose because a 6 is so likely to roll. Just make a $24 place bet.
Okay. So you're going to win 28, right?
If the 6 rolls, you win 28. If the
Okay.
7 rolls, you win 25. You cannot lose. You can't win anything
Yeah, I
but
was
like
gonna
a
say
couple
you're not gonna win
dollars.
a whole lot,
But that it's way better than going, because you're, like I said, the don't's a huge underdog for the first roll. So please don't pull your don'ts down. If it goes to a number you don't like, just make a same size place bet on it. Because you don't want to go through the don't again. It makes no sense.
okay.
If you don't like the number, just place it. Never remove a don't. I say never, but I know there are situations where like people playing for comps or whatever, like I'm using free play on my don't,
Okay.
and they want to keep reusing their free play, which normally, after the resolution it gets collected. So they're like, I'll pull back my don't. There's some weird, really thoughtful way.
Nuances. Yeah, little
nuances.
nuances,
You
yeah.
could maybe it makes sense to pull back a don't if it's like a free play situation or something like that. But never pull your don't. Just place bet whatever number if you don't like the don't. We got off track a little bit.
yeah. Sorry about that.
No, that's okay.
Yeah.
It's all kind of related to the come out game, I guess.
Mhm.
You said a lot of people do the world bet.
Yeah, I've got guys who do it even in the fantasy room.
What is
And
the world bet? Can you?
So the world bet is the the craps numbers plus the 7, right?
And the 11.
And the 11.
Yeah.
So you get the 12, the 11, you get the 2 and the 3, and then you get the 7. So it's 6 ways, 6, 7, 8. What is it? 9, 10, 11, 12. Is it 12 altogether?
I don't. It's every situation's covered.
Yeah.
So either you're gonna set a point, or
Right.
you're protected by the world bet. It's a $5 bet because there's 5 different bets:
Mm-hmm.
2, 3, 11, the horn numbers, and 7.
Right.
If you roll a 7, the bet it's just a push.
Okay.
If you roll the high number, 2 and 12, you get paid 26, and if you roll a 3 or 11, you get paid 11. So you have to kind of do your calculations. That's a $5 bet.
Mm-hmm. Now I see, like I said, I see the guys do it all the time in fantasy craps. I'll see them at a real table do it.
Mhm.
It's not as exciting to me. To me, and there might be reasons for it if you think you can hit certain numbers or if you're
Yeah.
dice setter, that kind of thing. But to me, I don't like it. I think it's going to be a high house edge bet again.
Certainly.
Very much so, and they're not going to pay you anywhere worth the
No.
risk. Although it's in another way, it's kind of like a anti-field bet, in the sense
Yes.
that, with the
I guess so.
7, it's like you're taking. No, maybe it's a pro field bet because you still don't have the 6 and the 8 and the 5, that kind of thing. So I don't know
Yeah,
how to
the
describe
weird
it.
thing about it to me is it goes back to like when you bet the C and E. Well, now you're doubling up on the 11. So with
Right.
the world bet, you have your protection with the 2, 3, and 12, but now you're doubling up on the 7, 11.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I mean, you're going to win that with your pass line
With
bet.
anyway on the so if you took those out, why wouldn't you just drop back down to
Down
the
to the
cheaper
C&E?
bet?
Yeah,
To C&E.
But yeah, I don't. But people have instituted some sort of strategy where, they involve the world or whirl. A lot of
Mhm.
places in the Midwest, it's WHIRL, whirl. I've only heard rumor that it was named after a guy, Whirl,
Okay.
Mr. Whirl.
Did not know that.
Yeah, and
I
then
seen World WORLD, and
right,
it
and
even
then a
has
lot of times
picture
you'll
of
see
a
the
globe.
logo of the globe, yeah.
globe on there.
which makes more sense to me because like all around the world, or in basketball, around the world type thing is like all of them, all around.
Okay.
So that kind of makes sense. But throughout the country, people do call it 2 different things,
All right.
whirl or world. But yeah, it's another high house edge bet to protect a very good bet.
Yeah, it's very strange. So it almost like goes into just the topic of hedging in general.
Right.
Should you ever hedge? And I think I've seen systems where if you're trying not to win money, by all means go ahead and hedge a lot. And there are different reasons. Like for example, our good buddy Brian's come up with a system that's kind of a light and darkness kind of thing, which is a hedge kind of way to build more time and have more bets at the table to win comps for cruises and that type of thing. So
Yeah.
I could see it in that type of situation, but as far as just a regular way of playing, unless you're trying to win comps and time at the casino, if you're trying to win
I will tell
flight.
you, I'm going to put out a video. Well, I've got to record it.
Well,
this
if
week.
you can put down that daggone Nintendo Switch, maybe we'll get to it. Yeah, go ahead.
No, it's got to happen because I got to get it scheduled. But I am going to do a video on Wager Me This is a YouTuber that I like. I think he's a good gambler, and he's settled that hedging. He doesn't call it hedging. He calls
What's
it
it
covering. Covering
Covering, okay.
is the way to play craps. Like, I mean, he's been playing whatever, and he's almost got me convinced. If you can check out his
Really?
last couple of videos, yeah,
I'll have to go watch this video. Wager Me This and Covering.
yeah, it's kind of a simple, it's similar to like lightning. You start with a don't, and then you make place bets that are covered by the don't. So the reason, and then so the argument is, well, you're giving up potential wins, right? Because you're not picking one side or the other, which is true. But how he sets it up is, okay, the average is 8.5 rolls, which means
Right.
heck of a lot of them are going to be
Short rolls.
You know, people complain 2, 3, 4, 5. You know what I mean? The 3 to 6 range, more than half the time, is going to happen. So if the rolls are really, if you know the roll is 3 to 6 rolls, what would you be? I would be a don't better.
If you knew it was short, yeah.
Yeah, if you knew it's going to short. So that's where the don't comes into play. And then you essentially washing it out with place bets. So in those short roll situations, you're going to be like breaking even. But
you still got to take the risk if you're a don't player on that first roll. You're
you
the
do.
2-1 underdog.
That's true.
But you could hedge
get
on
around
that.
it.
You could
You
hedge on
could.
cover it.
Yeah. There is no getting around gambling.
Right.
So you are gambling. But the thing is, if you do both and it's a short roll, you break even. If you are just a light side better with a short roll, you know, you put your place bets up there, they're all going to fall down with a short roll.
Right.
And you're going to lose money. So his thing is you kind of break even with the short roll, but because your place bets are there and they're protected or covered by the don't, if you do get into a long roll, your place bets could be making money. And this is how I am. Like, you recoup your initial investment. I always say, make your bets, recoup your investment, and then go for the big win. Well, this is
okay.
It just skips step one, because it's like you immediately break even and you just go for the big win. Because worst case happens, okay, I press up all my place bets and the 7 rolls and I didn't collect anything. Oh, darn, I just get, you know, I had $100 don't, I had $100 in place bets. Yeah, I lose 200 in place bets, but I really only had $100 out. I broke even. Okay. And I start over. It's an interesting way to, well, he says the key is you have to keep increasing your don't. So there's some nuances to it.
That to me sounds kind of martingale-ish on that sense.
But it's not, because you only increase it with wins. You don't, it's not on losses. You only increase it with a win. So it's
so
not
if you press up, you're saying if you press up your numbers, then you have to increase your don't.
Yeah. So what he does is he does
part.
Like $25 bet, he wins 35. He'll put 10 for his next don't. And then, you know, maybe press up, you know, use 20 to press up a number. So every time he's putting a little bit on the next don't. So his next don't might be $200 don't. And then he can make $200 essentially risk-free place bets up there for the next roll. Now he's betting bigger. So every time he can bet bigger and bigger and bigger.
He only increases his bet on the wins, though.
Yeah. Yeah, only on the wins. So I don't know. It's interesting theory. I'm going to roll it out. But yeah, it does kind of make sense to me. Just because there's, you know, so many people are fighting the short roll.
Yeah.
But this is way off topic, because this is
got nothing to do with
nothing to do with pass line protection. It's a little bit of hedging. But yeah, it's a little different. So it's hard to explain, but definitely check out my videos, upcoming videos.
Yeah.
By the time this is passed, you'll look back.
Yeah. Now you did have one of your older videos. It's funny you brought this up, and I told you when we were chatting before the show started that I watched some of your, started with some of your oldest videos and went forward. But one
yeah,
of
you were bored this week.
I was walking the dogs and I was freezing, and you're the first thing that popped up, and I just went to I said, I wonder what his first video looked like.
Yeah.
And anyway, it wasn't the longest one either, too. But you did explain why you call this thing Color Up, which I thought was nice.
Yeah.
But anyway, back to my point was you had a video that describes very similar to what you just were talking about with this this way of play. It was a don't pass, and he had some place bets on there. And it was, I think you called it the best way to play craps or something. Go back and look before you make your video and see if that kind of matches it up a little bit. But yeah, it's intriguing to me, but still not convinced. Like even watching your first video on it did not convince me to give that a shot. But take a look at it before you make your other one. Go back and scroll through, go to the videos, and then
Well,
put all the,
it kind of only applies to people who hate, place bettors who like, I bet 66 inside, and
got
three
sniped
rolls
3 times
in
a
and gets
row,
knocked
yeah.
off, right? So
Yeah.
it's a little different for you as a come better because you don't have that risk all at once. You make a come bet, it moves up. You make another come bet, which has a little built-in hedge to it. It moves
Right.
up. So you usually don't
I don't
have
get
all
my
that
money
risk
out
early.
until yes.
Yeah. So it's a little different from you. So you don't really face that situation much as a come better. So this is more like a different ideal for place bettors who are like, just because more than half the time you
get
the
wiped
roll never
out.
gets it.
Yeah.
And they all come down and you didn't recoup your money. So this is a way to just kind of like, you break, if you can make it past that come out roll, you're breaking even, and then you can go from there. You're essentially but to each his own. And then there's no magic to it as well. Over time it says you're going to lose too many don't bets on the come out roll to make
That
money,
happens.
right?
You lose it, and it happens. Sometimes you lose your pass line bet on the come out roll.
Well,
I
and
can-
then betting
interest
this
from it.
way, you don't want points to hit. So if too many points are hitting, you're going to lose that too. So yeah, there is no magic, unfortunately, to this game. So it's like, just bet the pass. Do you want to protect it with any craps, the world bet, the three-way craps? Do you want to bet the don't?
But are you
and
really
hedge it
protecting? Are we ever really protecting anything?
Well, it's insurance.
Insurance.
That's the key word. It's insurance. Yes, it is a protection. Yes, but it
Okay.
costs, right?
Okay.
And
Nothing's
the insurance
free.
company, nothing's free. Insurance companies make money in the long run. That's why they're in business. Well, and then if it gets too expensive, they just go out of business, right? Like, hurricane comes in Florida, they're like,
I'm
oh,
sorry. Hey, no,
we
don't
can't pay out any.
No money for you.
I don't know how they can get away with that, but they do every once in a while. So it's not completely whatever. But yeah, it does cost more money in the long run. But when disaster strikes, insurance is nice, right?
Yes.
And so
Okay.
that's why people do it. Like, is it a waste of money? Yes. Let's all be honest. The craps bet, the craps check is a waste of money. But when you roll that 3, it is nice when
You
it
get that
strikes.
coming back. Yeah.
So,
And it's only for one roll.
well, it could be multiple.
It could be,
33% of the time, it's going to be one of the
It's
others.
churning, man.
Yeah, 66% of the time, it does establish a point, and then you're, and then it's game on. But yeah, I don't know that there's a good reason other than people like they like that little warm fuzzy insurance feeling. So I mean, but yeah, I don't know if we said it out loud, but they are. Well, we said it was with House. They are bad bets. It's a waste of money long term. It's just nice in case, and that's what people do. That's why we buy insurance.
Okay.
It's nice in case. You're not, unlike like auto insurance, you're not required.
Right. Yeah, I was thinking that. But what about like at the blackjack table? Don't they ever ask you for insurance on that?
Yeah,
or
all the
something?
time, right? And
Yeah.
so all the mathematicians, the books, and all that stuff say, never buy insurance. And for whatever reason, blackjack players are like, cool, I should never buy it. It's a bad bet. I'm going to listen to the mathematicians.
But the craps players.
But the craps players were like,
Hey, give me more
yeah,
insurance.
but.
I'll pay you 3 times as much
Yeah.
for it.
Right. Yeah, insurance, but I have a system going on,
Yeah. Dice Grinders just jumped in. He said, "Hey, and it's just a hedge, and it is. All this is hedging, but it's the most to me, it's the most peculiar kind of stuff that it's just an interesting bet for me, and I don't know. I just as I'm learning the game, continue to learn the game. As I've learned the game, it's just the one thing that strikes me as just. Why? What is it about the first bet? The $10? You know, it's just
Yeah.
it's peculiar to me.
Yeah.
I'll see people put $10 or $15 on it. They'll throw $2 or $3. Hey, I want
We
my
should
crap
start
check.
asking. I swear I think
Have a
it is.
poll. Yeah, have a poll.
No, well, it's different when you ask the craps community. It's different whenever you go and see people like craps check. Because if you ask them like, what's that? Well, most people learn by watching this game or playing or copycatting. I
Right.
think someone at a table, and they'd be like, "Why did you do a craps check?" Well, 20 years ago, I learned because the guy said, you throw a craps check and it protects me from the 2, 3, and 12.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought about that? Probably not. It would be interesting to find out. I don't do that though. I don't talk to players. I don't want to. Do your thing. I'm not going to
You
give
don't want to be
any
that
unsolicited
guy. You don't want to be that
advice.
guy. You don't want to be the snotty guy.
I'll give all kinds of advice here on my channel, but at the real table, I'm not going to open my mouth and.
But it'd be nice to maybe after it's over with, after they colored up, or maybe after they're tucking their tails and leaving.
Yeah.
Say, hey, let me ask you a question. You made 14 crap checks bet, and I just happened to notice casually that only 3 of them hit.
Right.
What are you thinking on that? Walk me through.
Well,
that.
you gave a bad example, Jim, because
Yeah,
14, and they hit 3. They won 21 and lost 14.
Yeah. All right. So
What happened
bad.
there? I
All
don't know.
right. I bet. And plus, I dropped my book too. But
But
you know
no,
what?
if you did keep track of it, more than likely it's going to be a bad situation, unless it's just one of those nights where crap numbers are rolling over and over and over again. But yeah, so. And again, whenever you go, okay, the guy lost $500, and you go, hey, your $1 bet was wasted money, and you did that on a come out roll, and you saw 20 come out rolls, so you wasted $20 there. He'd be like,
I
you know
lost
what?
480.
Yeah, I lost 500, Jim. Screw you, Jim. Like,
man.
just leave me alone. I don't want to hear about the math of this one little protection bet. Like, so.
It all adds up there, right? I mean, it's all part of a scheme. And like you said earlier, making a really bad bet doesn't help you with a really good bet,
they're not
or vice
combined.
versa. There's
Yeah,
no
they're not
combining.
combined bets. They're individual bets. Every bet's individual. So we like to think of them as combined. Hey, I can't lose, but no, you've got a bad bet over there that's giving up 11, 14% of what what it should pay you, and the casino's just raking it in. They're raking in on those bad bets.
Now, let me make one observation here, and I don't know if anybody's on YouTube noticed, but I did drop my Roto book that had all my house edges.
I thought there was an earthquake over there.
Yeah, no. But just want you to know that the professor's always prepared because he has another copy of the Roto book at his hand's reach, just in case he did drop it. So that's the kind of,
Backup Roto book.
redundancy, planned redundancy.
I'll have to go check out my Roto book. Did he only do one?
He had an updated version of it, but that was
Okay,
the only
I
one.
don't know what I have, but I don't know why you think it's so important that you
I
should
love
have.
the Roto book, and like I said, it has the same information as the 2 that
Nothing
you
new,
recommend. Yeah, which
Okay.
is your first 2 that you did. Take the money and run.
Yeah.
And then also the other one, which was right there, the Smart Better's Guide to Craps. So those are my 3 on my Mount Rushmore that I love.
Yeah, I'll have to check and see why Roto's on that Rushmore. I don't remember.
Yeah, I think he did a great job
specifically
on
that
it.
one.
Yeah, but that's me. But I'm not getting anything off it, and I don't have a link to YouTube or Amazon or anything. But that's just my humble opinion. So
All right. Well, I think we've kind of
beat this
topic to
So
death.
overall, and by the way, Jeremy, we are powered by Sports Grid. In case anybody's forgotten.
Yeah, you
And
can always
again-
watch us on Sports Grid TV. Well, not us, not the
us.
podcast.
You, not
You
me.
can watch the Color Up YouTube channel through Sports Grid TV, and then our podcast goes out under their banner.
Yes.
So it's officially they're putting out the podcast.
Okay.
Whatever that
Yeah, that's
means. I don't
awesome. Hey, gives us
Yeah.
something to do on Sunday nights. And speaking of that, next Sunday night we're going to have a guest host.
Yeah, we'll have a guest host. So Yeah, Jim will be here.
But I
Faithful
won't be
Jim.
solo. It won't be
Yeah.
solo. We'll have a special
Hopefully
guest
not.
host.
Hopefully he'll have a guest with him
Yes.
to help him out. And because I'll be out at sea, and then the following Sunday we'll see. I may make it back. If not, we might have to have another guest, or Jim will go
Okay.
solo. I don't know. We'll see. But we're going to try to keep this podcast going as consistently as we can, at least for now,
Yes.
unless we get bored and decide to do it semi-weekly or bi-monthly.
Whatever we're
or
going to do.
I
We're
don't
good.
know.
Whatever.
Right now we
we're
got plenty of
fluid. We're
stuff.
fluid
Yeah.
because flexible's too rigid.
Yeah,
And it's
I
coming
like
up on
that.
the holidays, too.
that's true.
Yeah.
We might take some. Who knows? I don't know. But these are fun to do, and we got plenty of topics to talk about. Because as you could say, we just filled up an hour talking about an any craps bet, essentially.
Some people might say we didn't fill up the hour, but
Yeah, they would say, well, I shut it off after 5 minutes because what more can you say? But we certainly hit it from many angles.
we're
and that's
trying,
what we do
people.
here.
We're trying. Be nice to us.
We're trying to keep you entertained and keep you on the hook. No, we would end these shorter if we ran out of stuff. But there was stuff. There was details. We had
I
all
think
kinds
so.
of stuff.
I think so. We can go to a monster roll because I think we have like 8 people. It looks like
Yeah.
watching. So
Yeah, I think we end the podcast here. Thanks again for watching, listening, supporting the Color Up channel, and let's go ahead and end it there and head to the monster roll, where we take viewers' questions if there are any. I only saw a couple pop up.
yeah, I'll go to
Some of the
top.
regulars, which we super
Yeah.
appreciate.
Yeah, Ken and everybody.
Why do many people who aren't shooters make it past line bet? I think it goes back to like how they learn, just tradition. You won't believe the amount of times, because so many of my videos I don't show the pass line, and I get the question, you don't have to make a pass line. So I think people just like, everyone does it. And you take a class in the casino, they'll be like, the very first thing you do, make a pass line bet. So it's just either copycat. That's what it is,
Yeah.
So it's just like how people learn the game, which is, I mean, if they would stick to it, it would.
No,
be good.
I do it. I make the pass line bet because I'm a come better.
Yeah, and it's a great bet. It's an amazing bet, and then you add odds to it. It's even
Yeah,
better.
I mean, we're trying. I'm trying,
Mhm.
but
Technically, mathematically, it's an amazing bet.
yeah, technically, especially if you can do it with 100 times odds, Jeremy. It's really great mathematically.
Yeah. You
But,
should
yeah.
only be making it, in
Yeah.
my opinion, only be a
Yeah.
come better if you're doing 5 times or more
Right.
odds. But
Yeah.
we digress.
All right, but I will say this on that. There's a lot of people who come up to the table and they're playing for the first time. You're right. That's the first thing they'll do is they've been watching me or watching somebody else, and like on a cruise, that's the first thing the dealers will instruct them. Hey, put some money there, put some money behind. Next thing you know, they've got $10, $20 on the table very
Yeah.
quickly, as opposed to having $10 or $20 up on the box numbers.
Right.
So yeah, that's definitely one. I don't know why. Again, other than copycats or tradition or whatever. But like when I go to DiceCon, I see people who put money on the pass line bet because we're all in this together, even though they're
Yeah.
place bettors.
Yeah.
So it just depends. I did want to point this out that Co-Legend did notice the new digs over
Yeah,
here.
I think
and
you
know
already
we had some
brought
people
that
too.
up.
Yeah, I know, but I'm bringing it up again.
Really proud of
was
the
it?
new digs.
No, I'm just happy I got it hung
I've
up.
been talking since day one that I'm going to put something on the back wall, and I
Yeah.
haven't. Like I've got my little chip things now. and
Yeah,
I've
you got options.
Oh, for my anniversary, my wife bought me a little Browns helmet, so I want to put my Browns helmet up on the shelf. But
oh yeah.
I got to get shelves first. And I
Yeah.
haven't done
You
that.
got to get
so.
these videos done and put down that dang on Nintendo Switch.
It's over there. I'm not going to touch
Zelda
it.
or what's her name?
The Legend of Zelda,
The
Link's
Legend of Zelda.
Awakening. Link is
Okay.
the little green elf guy that you usually play. Zelda's usually the princess you save.
Okay. Is
But
this
yeah,
another,
tonight I'm
another
going to.
YouTube channel, by the way?
What's that?
Color
no,
Up
no.
Zelda? Or-
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Yeah. We're still somewhat early, but you do have work early tomorrow. My daughter has been playing poker a little bit, Well, we watched it on
Wow.
TV, and then for Thanksgiving, our Thanksgiving was on Wednesday. We played
Mm-hmm.
actually poker at the table as a family. I was shocked that everyone's like, "Let's play poker," and I'm like, "This is awesome!" And so they grabbed my chips, and everyone's playing poker at the table. And I guess since she's been playing online a little bit,
I
and
would be so suspicious of online poker.
no, no,
No?
no, I mean, me, no, I don't.
I, Jeremy, they can have voicemails of the president of the United States talking to people. They can think you're not. You don't think you could be in a room with a whole bunch of bots or whatever, and everybody's working against you? Let you
Yeah,
win every once in a
I
while.
mean, I guess, but I mean, I'm not playing high stakes.
Okay.
You know, for me personally, I started with zero, played some free roll tournaments, and I've built my account up to, I don't know what it is now, $300 or $400. So I'm not like worried about losing that.
Okay. All
I'm
right.
not going
Well,
to buy
maybe
in
you're.
with 1,000. Yeah.
All right.
But I do play on WSOP, which is regulated. It's not one of these offshore sites. There's a tiny little bit more protection there.
Okay.
But anyway, the roundabout story. She's been playing online, and she's like,
Okay.
maybe you know what? Maybe I should be like you and start a YouTube channel. I'm like, daughter of mine,
Absolutely.
I have a
Yeah.
YouTube channel.
Absolutely.
If you want to stream on Color Up Poker YouTube channel, I
Yeah.
would
You
let you
just
do that.
jump right
People
on
might find it
in. Yeah.
interesting. Yeah, just give her the login and let her start going. So I said,
See
let's
what
learn the game a
happens.
little bit, practice a little bit, and I'll let her go. So there might be some new Color Up Poker content coming soon via.
Which daughter is this again? The
This would
older
be
one,
my
right?
oldest daughter. Yeah,
Yeah,
Toby.
yeah, the older, yeah. Yeah, because the other one's just at college. She's
Yeah.
18, 19 years old, so she
Yeah,
can't
she's
even
not
gamble.
legally allowed enough.
Right. Okay. That was.
At
I guess that
least
was a dumb
here.
question on my part. So
No, that's a
because I
good
knew
question.
you wouldn't be breaking any rules or anything.
No,
like
no,
that.
no, no. She has to go to Canada or cruise ships or other
Yeah.
jurisdictions. I don't know.
When you've taken her, has she gambled on the cruise ship yet? Or any of your
She
kids?
she played. Yeah, the younger one on this last one
Mm-hmm.
played slots for a few minutes and won like $20. Super
There you go.
exciting. And then I also let her. I said, "Hey, where do you want to put this?" She wouldn't play craps, but she stood next to me and said, "I said, hey, where do you want to put this $10 bet?" Don't remember what she picked, but I said, wherever I bet it, if it wins, you get the winnings, and it won, and she got the
Oh,
winnings
wow.
from that too. So
Very
she's
good.
gambled a little bit, little toe in the water.
Well, that's good.
Not that I recommend gambling for kids. I mean, not that I recommend
Any
gambling
age.
for anyone. It's
Yeah.
it's not a great. I don't know. I'm big world picture. I'm a little conflicted. It is a fun entertainment that you can win some money back. Beyond that, please, don't try gambling if you have issues
Yeah.
or could be addictive personalities. or
1-800.
can't
whatever
afford it,
is,
or
yeah.
yeah,
Your rent money.
you could get in
Although
trouble.
soft white was it soft white underbelly? Then boy, there. I've watched some videos on YouTube with that guy, and watched his interview with Joe Rogan. It's amazing. Some of these people get hooked.
It's a real
on it.
thing.
It's a real thing. Exactly. It is a
So,
real thing. So
yeah,
sad on that part.
Hopefully, you have some safeguards or whatever. But all right,
Yeah.
I don't see any more questions. I don't want to just keep belaboring
babbling
this.
on, yeah.
Yeah, next week you'll have a guest with you, and
A special
hopefully,
guest.
hopefully that goes well.
I hope so.
And beyond that, I gotta at least get another one edited tonight, and then maybe I'll play a little bit. Of
Well, let me.
Zelda.
I was gonna say before you go off, do you want like accountability partner? You can like take the battery out of the Zelda game, the Switch, or something.
I should, but I think,
You got enough self-control, discipline.
yeah, I do, and I've got these deadlines are important to me.
Yes, they are.
And I know I gotta have everything done by Friday. So, I gotta. I don't know if I mentioned I gotta edit some more podcasts. All of them been uploaded.
All of them too. Okay.
So 13 episodes been uploaded, so I got to edit episode 14 through whatever and get those out to him
Okay.
this week as well, so we can, your Spotify or Apple or
Yeah,
whatever
or
keeps
Apple.
feeding.
Absolutely. Well, thanks to the 6 people who are still hanging around. We appreciate you. I don't know how many are family members, but we appreciate you and love our family and our Color Up family as well, too.
It's tough. We picked a Sunday night because it works for our
There's always
schedules,
a football game going on.
Yeah.
So,
I think most people listen to this online.
Yeah.
Podcast. So that's what it's meant to be.
Yep.
All right. You guys have a good night, and we'll see you another time.
All right. Au revoir.